I go back, nobody waves. I have to wave a couple times and get ignored before I realize we don't wave here anymore. And I'll say this about Kiowa, I'm proud to live in a town where you still wave. Okay, seniors, day's arrived. 9 days and 10 degrees warmer, but we're here. To quote the Grateful Dead from the song Truckin', what a long, strange trip it's been these last 2 months. If you're like me, you're still kind of figure out what day it is sometimes, because your days were based around track meets, events, things in school, and without those, it just kind of flows. In one of our senior class meetings, somebody brought up, "Are we that class?" At the time, my reply was something along the lines, every class thinks they're that class. You've been a good class overall. Well, this happens, and now I was wrong. You guys have become that class.
They are that class! Yeah!
You gotta love parent participation. Okay, you are that class. You began the year with new clothes, hope, and excitement for what the senior year would bring. And some of you are ready to be here where you are right now in August. You're that class that had a new volleyball coach for the first time in many years. You're that class that led us through a fun football season where it seemed like every game was at home and ended just short to the eventual state champion with everybody banged up at the end of the season. You're that class that had 2 new basketball coaches. You're that class that had basketball spirit week, were ready to play, and the other team called and said, "We're not coming." So we had to reschedule. You're that class then that had their homecoming on a Thursday night, and we had our dance on Friday. Then it happened, not in one big boom, but in a quick trickle of events that seemed to cancel everything in its path, including use of our school buildings. You are that class that is the first class in the history of American education to finish your senior year online. You're that class. You handled it, you did it, you finished it, and I'm proud of you guys for hanging in there and getting through it. The positive side of this situation, we can all dwell on the negatives, and like Adrian and some of them have said, we can look at the what ifs and why us and all that stuff that does us no good ever in life. And so the positive side of it is this. You've kind of been given a gift. You've realized that in this situation, you had no control. You had no control over where you would finish school, when you would finish school, how you were going to do things. And at that time, you had choices. And as you went along, you were thrown into that situation, and you decided to realize that, hey, I can get through this. We're going to get through this. We're going to get classes done. I'm going to get my diploma. We're going to have graduation. We're going to get things done. And so the moral of the story is, you can move on positively. You can still have success. The sun will still come up tomorrow, and that's a valuable life lesson. You know, we preach control what you can control. You had no control over what happened, but you did have control how you handled it, and you guys have done an awesome job handling it. So, good job. Lastly, have a purpose. As you guys go out today, don't settle into the everyday, I'm just going to do things to get by. Years pile up. Have a purpose. Have a meaning. Do something that's going to lead to somebody having a better life, or you having a better life. But have a purpose when you go about your life. I mean, I look back at a senior picture. I found a wife of mine that I asked my wife to post on her Facebook because I don't have it, because I saw you guys posting 2020 pictures, and everybody was like skinny and fit, and I was too in 1984. And I wanted you guys to see that I was in 1984 what I look like, and she didn't. You haven't done it yet, have you? Okay, she still hasn't done it. And but my point is, I had my whole life in front of me at that point. My whole future was in front of me to do whatever I wanted to do, just like you guys right now. Use that time, like Cutter said, wisely. You guys can do awesome things out there. Don't settle. Have a purpose and do some awesome things. That's my message. In conclusion, today marks the beginning of your life at South Barber High School as a graduate. Control what you can control and go and make yourself better. And finally, to borrow a phrase from my late friend, South Barber graduate Monty Williams, I wish you all the best of luck in the game of life. Okay, now we're going to present the class, and I would like to grab